And I really, truly, as I'm sitting here, what's coming forward for me, how blessed I feel, you know? It was that particular skill that has served me very well. And that is one of the most important skills that I can share with anyone. And that is the skill that you so prolifically described it, to be able to really frame what happens to us as a blessing. Because the most important thing that happens is what happens becomes irrelevant. Now all of a sudden, the way that I choose to relate to what happens becomes the most important thing. You know, I've been there, and I know it's a very lonely place when you're sitting on the other side. And you're feeling hopeless. And you do anything they tell you. If they want to cut you, if they want to give you whatever they want to give you, it's not the most empowering place to be. And I never expected this, but so be it. It's a very, you know, frightened state to be. And, and I think that by itself creates a conflict, according to German New Medicine, the way that Hammer describes it, that there are various different conflicts, different traumas. And that by itself, the way that you deliver that news, it becomes extremely important in what setting and how do you frame it. It saddens me, and I think that's why I got very emotional, because here I was, you know, second-year medical student, relatively sophisticated when it comes to the medical jargon, even if, you know, even if you're a second-year medical student. But I still felt very lost, and at the mercy of someone else deciding what's best for me. And, you know, this is very close to my heart, so I don't mind being vulnerable, and I don't mind being open, because I completely get how frightening it is to sit on the other side and not to have the white coat, and to be told that you have to be cut open and you got to do this, and, you know, and feeling lost. You know, one of the most powerful things that anyone suggested to me was to read the book Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And Viktor Frankl is probably, is a very prolific man. He's written a lot, but I think you know, Man's Search for Meaning is a good start into the introduction of logotherapy, which is, you know, in a nutshell, to give meaning to your suffering. And I think that's what's missing. It's really to be able to give meaning to our suffering would allow us to go through a process of assimilation and integration rather than fragmentation. And I think healing happens when we reach that, that integration, when we realize that no matter what happens to us, who we are is, you know, we're a divine being having a human experience. And sometimes having that human experience means that you have to get cancer to get a particular message across. Rumi the Sufi poet describes it as more of a psychic wound, where it really opens you up, allows you to be vulnerable and meek. Um, you know, I said meekness, and it brings forward another quote. You know, blessed are the meek, that they shall inherit the earth. It took me 6 months to understand what it means to be meek. That it doesn't mean that you have to be sheepish and you have to follow things and not question it, but to surrender, okay? Not as a passive way of being, but as an active way of being, and accepting that no matter what happens to us, we're going to be fine. And that's what that state of love and residing in that loving does for us, regardless of what it is that we're going through.